Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Kara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Chat Show!
Ahoy, ahoy, friends!
Ahoy, ahoy, friends! How's everybody going? Oh my goodness. Well, it's Sunday, and it's Easter, apparently, because I forgot.
It is Easter. Ho, ho, ho.
I forgot. And then Moto reminded me about, I think it's partially like if you don't have kids or you're not particularly, celebrating the Christian religion, you may like Easter may be something that kind of passes you by. I forget sometimes. Although, like one of our first shows was a show on Easter. Mm-hmm. That's how long ago it's been. It was like come around to be the same.
We're getting jelly beans tomorrow.
I'm totally gonna get the 50% off jelly beans.
Well, happy Easter, everyone.
Sorry, because we're that cheap. No, not really.
We like jelly beans.
Jelly beans. I love them.
We have an exciting show for you today.
We do. We have an
host Bricks Cascade.
Exciting show with exciting special guests and some of our regular crews here. Sorry, like the cameraman is drunk
Clicky
today.
Is helping us out.
Not doing a very good job. Anyway, hey, so yes, exactly. See, this is where I am here for this.
It's like the Boxing Day of Easter.
It's like the day after Halloween, day after Easter. You can get your like really good cheapo candy, and Christmas too. Anyway, enough about how cheap we are. So it's time to invite our guests on. The green room is teeming with guests at the moment.
Some of them in green.
Some of them in green. So, hey, from the middle left-hand side of the United States, and at one point in the last week, in the exact center of the United States,
precisely.
I saw a picture. It's Moto. Hi, Moto.
Hi, Moto.
I did. I sent in a field report via text page to my friends of the exact center of the continental 48.
We were all delighted to see that because it was like in the middle of the day at Bricks Cascade, and I think we were all delighted to see that. It was awesome.
And if I had more surface area, I could have blown myself across half the country and landed in Portland to be there because it was a windy day.
I wish you could have, because you would have enjoyed it, and you were missed, I will say.
Oh, but your aim's improving.
But hey, so speaking of our the regular Sunday Brunch Bunch, Kara will not be joining us today. She sends her regards.
She's having a day of
rest. Yes, she's having a day of rest. And I'm about to introduce the other person on the regular thing. Yeah, but there she goes. And from the Pacific Northwest and now on camera, it's Holly.
I'm here.
Hi, Holly.
I'm ready.
I was thinking these guys missed a golden opportunity, because I would think of all the people in the world that could find Easter candy or the Easter bunny, it would be Logan.
It's true.
You would find it.
Yeah. The problem is we value our arms, and if there was a rabbit anywhere nearby and we were holding a leash to which Logan was attached, I can guarantee you that our arms would be several inches longer, or perhaps not attached to our bodies any longer.
I've learned my lesson about trying to be on my phone while walking Skittles. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's just like if I'm not paying attention and suddenly she just pew, and then you too much arm.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Well, it's good to see you. I feel like I've seen this angle from the other side of a fence full of Lego just recently. I mean, a shelf full of Lego just recently.
Yeah.
And can I just say, I love your Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends t-shirt so much that that is maybe right up there with the original Powerpuff Girls, my very favorite show on Cartoon Network.
One of my favorites as well.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I've watched that Western, A Fistful of Lego. That would be a good one.
A few Lego more.
And now we have some special guests. One of them is a special guest who's been here several times before, including telling us about his wild theories about Lego themes. It's Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Good morning.
Wow, I see that you have a fancy microphone.
You know what? I got
It's not working.
It's not working.
I'm afraid your fancy microphone isn't working so good.
It sounds like your audio is not actually going through the microphone.
That's what I think.
Perhaps. But
still, yeah, it's some onboard mic that's picking you up.
I think you're gonna
have to test some.
You need to check
out.
your settings there, friend. If you go down to the bottom of the screen there should be like settings for within thing there. But I'll let you get that while I invite our other guests on.
In solidarity, I'll freeze.
Who are verily bursting through the screen. So excited for these two to be on. They've been TrickyLUG members for a while, always impressing us with really cool models. It's Kat and Sam Harmon. Hi.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
How's it going?
Fabulous. We are excited to be here.
Yes.
Oh,
My little acorn buddies.
We're super excited to have you. And you got your awesome acorn cosplay on. You guys, like, you should have seen this in person because it was absolutely amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying.
Oh my gosh. That's too cute. Can't even.
Kat told me that Sam said, I think maybe we ought to dress, and he didn't even get the word up out before she was already at her sewing machine.
Oh, I was saying before the costumes were finished. You mean these? Yes.
There was a few weeks where she was less interested in building than she was sewing.
I understand that.
Well, there was a lot of both.
That's fair. I've been there. Believe me, I've been there.
Yep.
Welcome. So glad to have you. And Adam looks like he's getting himself sorted out there. And
part of the idea for dressing up was just how ready Moto is to do that.
Yes. Yes.
Outfits and Thunderman and all that other stuff. So,
well, putting the play in cosplay, it's Moto.
I put the Mo in Cosmopolitan play.
No. No, that hurt.
Yeah, that was really a stretch. You had to run a couple miles to catch that one.
The problem was I said the Mo before I even thought that doesn't show up in cosplay.
No, it does not. I appreciate the effort, though.
And we also have a lot of people in the chat today who were at Bricks Cascade, and we'll be talking about some of the, well, first of all, Isaac, who's in the chat right now.
Wow, a powerhouse.
We've shown his stuff many times, but he swept the awards with I think 3 awards for his different builds. Like, amazing. And actually, Kat, later when we talk about which TrickyLUG members won awards, I'm going to need your help because you and I were sitting together and we kept counting them, but I wasn't paying attention to taking notes. Yes, 6. There were 6.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Amazing stuff. Sorry, I'm getting too excited. I'm getting you need to be more quiet. Apparently our neighbor can hear all of our streams. So
Good.
Anyway, I hope he knows
The
lots
6
about Lego now.
What a lucky guy.
But hey, so what it's actually time for, friends, is pins. And since Kara's not here today to kick us off, I'm going to tap Kat, who already is holding hers up, and let's see what we got.
Wow, those are tough.
Wow.
Little water bears.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cute. Do you not like a water bear?
Very good.
I brought my favorite.
Oh,
my friend.
Go around.
Totoro. I hear he's your neighbor.
Pretty much.
Yes. He's everyone's neighbor, really, because
He lives next to the tree.
very cool.
Wow, look at this organization system we're seeing.
All right.
here. We'll come back. to
Ignore the year. It's the only Bricks Cascade pen that I have.
Oh, well, very good.
That's a good pin.
Nicely done. Very good. And I have that little constructed brick thing for the top of my my badge. Adam, how about, or have you finished setting yourself up there, buddy?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can.
there you
Very
go.
well.
Of course.
Yeah, baby.
Radio
All right.
announcer.
Yeah.
Back in the control console. Today I have Calabac the Cruel.
Wow.
Wowzy,
That is
wow.
awesome.
That's awesome. That's really funny. Okay, sorry. Sorry, that was good. And Moto, where are we going today?
We're going to go educational. We're going to talk about MindSpark. I don't know if anybody out there has encountered MindSpark or helps MindSpark kids or has someone that does it, but there you go. There's the MindSpark organizational pin.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
I stopped by their table at a robotics competition. It sounds like they're a STEM-based system, both, but not just for educators, or not just for, I should say, the students, but also for the educators.
Okay.
Sounds like a cool thing. I've got to look them up a little bit more and read more, but there it is. There's MindSpark. Haven't
Very
vouched it,
good.
have to vet it, but they have a pin, and so I grabbed one.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And everybody, now is about the time that you should pop in a hi in the chat for a shout out when we get ready to say hi to everybody in the chat here in just a second. And now
It's us, right?
It is us. I'm just kind of nudging Clicky over here to get on the job.
Our helpful focus puller and technician extraordinaire, Clicky.
Indeed.
We've got, what do we have going on here?
Choo choo.
Little train business.
Very nice. Disney
That's fun.
train. And I have one of my favorite characters, and I especially love this rendering of him because it's a little bit like oldie-timey looking. That is Figment.
Oh,
You know, I am a fan of Figment, and it's a good one.
He's a science pal, right?
He's imagination. He is the science of imagination.
Why not? I bet there is science to that.
There we go.
Yeah, let's see. No, where's us? Okay, there we go. You did yours, right?
I
Okay.
did do mine. Yep.
Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated this morning. I was up at like 5 a.m. like doing some school things, getting the show ready, organizing the slides, and yeah, it was like a whole thing.
You were out early with Logan, and Logan was not feeling the morning.
Oh no. Okay, y'all, for the first time ever, like whenever Logan comes out, we have to like, I know he's gonna come out of the bedroom in the morning. I always like have to push the coffee cups aside, and he runs at a full tilt, like 100 miles an hour. This is the first time I ever saw him. He kind of like trotted out. It was like 6 a.m. He trotted out, like looked around. Usually he jumps up on me for a snuggle, and then he was just kind of sitting there like he just wanted me to pet him so he didn't have to do any work. and then he just went over and laid down in his bed and went back to sleep. Never seen it. It was
Well,
he's growing up.
Logan was chasing the Easter Bunny. I'm telling you, that's why he's so wiped out.
He
You know
got
what?
all the jelly beans.
It's very possibly true. Everybody in the chat say tardigrade. Yeah, it's a thing. It's happening. Everybody is saying.
Oh no, is that the next collab? Is tardigrades?
Yeah. Well,
That will be the look and find.
Is that the new
Mm-hmm.
animal of you know? There's always like an animal that gets like a lot of it was the axolotl, but I think now we're like moving on to the tardigrade. I think that's
Past the llamas.
llamas were so 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was
great CMF.
that was big science. That was a science news thing that happened this week, as they were taking tardigrade and mixing it with human cells, and found that the human cells had a response to the tardigrade components. So Get ready.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, I don't
want
think I want to think about that.
Human tardigrade.
It's a little upsetting.
You get a finally older Jeff Goldblum, and he goes in his little capsule with the tardigrade and becomes indestructible when they shoot him in the space.
Oh my goodness!
As long as tardigrades eat things neater than flies do, then I will be okay with that.
We could make a monorail
see that.
train of a tardigrade and make its legs go like this as it went down the track.
See what you've done.
We
You see
did.
what you've done here. And this is how rabbit holes are begun.
It's
I'm
true.
sorry.
Just a simple pin.
We actually
Bronco grade. Shut up.
There you go.
Oh goodness. Okay, hey, let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat because this has
Hi,
gotten
chat.
way out of
If
control.
you're still with us.
only the biologists.
That
are with
was a
us.
huge side quest, like a huge side quest. So hey, let's see. I'm gonna go back here. Devolving, exactly. All right, so hey, let's see who's here. We've got Two Humble Bricks is here. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Apples is here
Apples.
from Europe. Good to see you, friend. Let's see, Carolyn CCCCCC. Hope things are well with you. Isaac's Bricks is here. We've got See You Later, who we saw in person.
In person.
we
did see you later.
we did. We saw him then and later, both.
We've got Darren Siegfried.
Darren Siegfried is here. Fabufan MKE. Hooded One is here. Lisa Head. L Nerd.
We saw
Leonard. And Leonard was there too.
Leonard.
Moto. PT McEwen is there. We saw PT Chu. Realgar. How's it going? Sam and Cat in multiple
Sam and
places
Kat.
at once. And bonsoir to Wilfred. Good to see you, friend.
We know where you are.
We know where you are. You're right here. And of course, Zarakino, Kim, wherever you may be. All right. And anybody that we may have missed. Johnny Cat's here. Hey, Johnny. And we'll catch up with other people in the, actually in the chat that I see them. It seems like the video is very behind the times.
That's what
gotta
I
say.
think. We've got a time traveling here.
Oh, and Ibby's there too. Hi, Ibby. We got some nice art from Isaac and Ibby while we were there. Some really nice art. I'm very excited, and a sticker that I got to put on.
Very talented.
Stickers galore. Everybody had stickers, by the way. It was quite the stickerful
We're a
thing.
lot of
So
I have to ask,
Yes.
before we go into slides, before we go down the rabbit hole of Bricks Cascade, I have to know a little bit about this organizational system behind Sam and Cat. What is going on there? That's
We have a small space. We have a small space.
Graham Crest Hill. Yes, sorry.
We
We're
don't
gonna
have a
put you on
lot
the
of
big screen.
wall width, and so many of the Lego storage solutions are narrow. Your Acro Mills are narrow, so we need something 2 feet deep is what we were looking for.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we
It reminds me of, I don't know, a card catalog of some kind.
Wow, that's so cool. How did you get all those cardboard boxes?
So
Handmade.
we're really into designer board games, and so for years I cut custom foam core inserts to organize those games beautifully. And so it was a natural extension to think, I can't find the bin I like. Why don't I take mat board, buy big bulk lots of mat board, and cut it into the right shape, just tape the corners, make labels, and I have my custom perfect sizes. Then when we need to divide it, I can cut a foam core divider, glue it in, and it's perfect.
Wow, do you have Hermione's time turner? How do you have time to make all those boxes and make the huge builds that you make and presumably have lives outside of that? You must
We have lives, but I don't have a job. So
And we don't live in an urban area. There's very little for two vegans to do at the coast.
it's a very rainy world out here on
We
the
can't
coast.
even eat out very often. We always think the Lego hobby consists of so many different aspects of things that we love. So we love the organization and the sorting. We like putting all of our pieces on parts inventoried on Rebrickable. We like building sets, but we like building mocks more. And there's always something to do for your brain state that you're in.
And I have a lot of
That is very true.
downtime for health, so sort of somewhat mindless things like this are nice for me.
Sam doesn't have a day job. That
Wow.
helps.
That
Very
explains
good.
a lot.
Cool.
That does explain a lot.
Yeah,
You feel better.
Yeah, I'm the one without the day job in the family. Well, actually, my day job is school right now, but yeah, I'm the one that's not. And also, like, we should mention that, Kat, you are a librarian.
Yes.
Which I was so thrilled to find out, and I don't know why I didn't know that, but somehow I didn't, or I forgot because my brain is like a sieve. But that was really fun to find out, and it speaks so much to your organization. I'm sure Richard's like, get your degree so you can organize all of our Lego. I know it's coming.
Well, it does sometimes feel like I come home and do my second job with
Yep.
inventory organization. But luckily, that's something I really love. I teach 6th through 12th graders, but I also do a lot of tech teaching. We have a First Tech Challenge program for 7th through 12th graders. We do a lot of robotics. I teach CAD modeling. So actually, Flynn, we have a lot in common.
Yes, we do.
You teach CAD modeling. We need to have a conversation about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll definitely.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I have 9 3D printers between my middle and high school, and I have everyone from 6th through 12th grade able to independently print from the very start of modeling their creation all the way to printing.
Wow, that's so cool.
Goodness.
I actually came into a whole lot of awesome filament while I was in when I was in Portland, because a friend of mine works for a filament place, and man, I got some good stuff.
There's Mount Kilimanjaro around here.
Wow. He's been holding on to that all weekend, by the way. He's been holding on to that all weekend.
So what do? Do you like just go on the parking lot and they pop open the back trunk and they're like,
Pretty
got
much.
some filament?
Pretty
You're
much.
like,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
they throw on the ground, and then you have to throw the money at their feet, and then you both pick it up and you scurry away in the cover of night. Or
Yeah,
You were
it was,
there.
It was
That's
kind of. I
what
know.
it
Wow,
was.
you were watching apparently.
Did you have to
Well,
pay
they
for
do-
extra
they-
baggage fees for the return trip?
What was that?
Did you have to pay extra baggage fees for the return trip?
We did not. We did not have to do that. I actually, I am the so. If any, or Richard will tell you, when we go, like when it comes to packing Lego models or like packing suitcases, I am the Tetris king. Like I can make anything fit into anything for the most part. Like I will make it fit. And I was able to at the last, and it really was at the last minute, like able to shove like 8 rolls of filament in our bags before leaving.
I just thought he was one of those guys that had like 12 layers of clothes, and each layer had had filament packed inside it. So he's like walking through security, looking like stable.
Yes, I was walking through the security like Homer Simpson leaving the candy show.
There you go.
And hey, Brick Built Josh is here. How's it going? So hey, let's it's like already 10:30 and we haven't even looked at any Bricks Cascade things, but we are here. I mean, this is good though. Like it's always fun to have new guests and talking about stuff, and you know, I will always talk about the library. So hey, let's kick things off for Bricks Cascade with a video of the TrickyLUG collaboration, because I know that's what we're all here to see.
Yeah.
But believe me, there's lots more. But let's take a look at the video of the TrickyLUG collaboration. Here we go. So,
it's all just running. Okay.
Yeah, that was a short one. That was the short video of it with the lights on. Believe me, there's many more pictures and videos to share, but this was just kind of a quick one that we wanted to show real quick with everybody, with the whole thing going. So pretty exciting.
Yano's battle going on there on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the battle on the lower left is great.
Leonard's beautiful.
A lot of motion going on.
Yeah, we had a lot of motion going on, a lot of color, lots of things actually.
People went nuts for Leonard's waterfall.
The things I heard the most about were the waterfall and the train.
Yeah, I have a video too that I draw. Maybe we didn't have time to grab it, but I have one that went to the other side and over, so you can see his magnetic track and the
Oh,
waterfall.
Yeah,
yeah.
and we've got lots of photos. And I want to just say, for the record, that I am personally, and I think everybody who was there would agree with me, I am personally awarding Leonard the most valuable player of of the collab. Like, he was like, if you were like, oh no, I need a weird part that no one's ever heard of, he's like, I have it right here.
And I have 30 of them.
And I have
Yeah.
30 of them.
Yeah, that was pretty magical.
Yeah.
And not to mention surprise donuts at any point in time.
Yes.
Tiny donuts.
Surprise tiny donuts from his wife, who was adorable. And yeah, it was super fun. But wow, what a way to kick things off. So let me, like I said, this is gonna take a little bit of doing, because I gotta kind of switch back and forth between videos and pictures. So you'll forgive me if things get a little weird. So give me 1 second here.
So Adam, are you putting away pieces from the last week, or what are you up to?
Yeah, I am. My wife helped me yesterday. We tore down all the ships that I built and put most of it away. And now I'm working on the base. And then later today, we're going to work on like the big, like underwater structure.
Oh, you're ahead of us. Wow,
I am.
So many
I'm already working on like next year's stuff.
Well, yes, we'll
talk more about that.
No. My personal stuff for next year.
Oh, your personal stuff for next year.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're always ahead. We are not always ahead, but hey, that's what happens.
I'm putting away all my slopes. That's what I'm doing. Remember this thing that was full of slopes?
Yes.
That's what I'm working on.
Okay.
Sorry that I added cheese wedges to your problem, Holly.
I think I don't know what I did with those. I think I left them with I don't remember. I think they're with Flynn, maybe.
Okay, good. Then you don't have to put them away.
No.
Okay, here we're gonna start sharing our little thing. Now, these are some detail photos. Now, I will say ahead of time that all of these photos were taken by different people, so I will give credit to Kat and Sam, Leonard, Richard, myself, Holly, for all of the photos that you'll see. If you want to speak up and say, hey, I took that, that's great. Otherwise, we're gonna kind of move along. So this was Adam, this was your part, right? Like one of your
yes, sir.
friendly's base.
It's being disassembled right now.
One of your parts, I should say, one of your many parts. And yeah, y'all, this was so impressive. Seriously, like all of the pieces when they came together, it was so remarkable. Like here's a really great picture of Leonard's mountain with the waterfall, just like incredible stuff, like absolutely fantastic. And I gotta take this thing off because I just realized our heads are hiding. There we go.
Hi there. Oh, we're back.
There's the real us.
I like the signage too. The signage is really
yeah, he did a great sign, right? Leonard did that friend zone sign. Love that. Oops. There we go. And there it is with the lights on, or with the black lights and the little movement lights on. I love the difference between those.
It really was electric.
It was. And y'all, there's some stuff coming up that you're gonna kind of. It's a little nuts. I'm just gonna say that. So there was a lights out portion, and we had black lights, we had disco lights, we had all the lights. So this is another section. This was the right.
This shows PTs, right?
Yeah, PTs. See you later, Edison. Yeah. We had and Leonard's a bunch of Leonard's stuff. This was like that sort of that side of it in the front. Lots of color going on, lots of movement. It was so funny. You can even see we did get a bunch of
like little
tokens from people. So that was really cool. There's another shot of the friendly space. This was Richard and my portion, Richard and Mine's. I don't know, Richard and Mine's portion.
Oh, and this is actually
we'll
have a little story, but this is after some excitement happened. And,
Yeah.
and you see Leonard's portion of the bright green there as well, off to the side.
Yeah, he did a great job, like kind of matching the style of our building and adding an extra piece on. It really made it spectacular. It was fun.
So just note, because we'll come back to this later, that you can see Sweet Mayhem in the monorail stop at the end of our tunnel there.
Yes, well, and Leonard like provided 90 Sweet Mayhems that we used like all across the piece. So that was pretty fantastic. Another part we can see here's Cars pieces in the front, and we've got these are Yano's pieces on the side here, Ken's, and then Cat and Sam's back here with the squids, which is an amazing piece as well. There, you can get a better piece of it with
We only had half of a Sweet Mayhem in our build.
a half of a That's fair.
And we see Adam's serpent there on top of Cat and Sam's build.
Yes, and his little turtle ship, which was absolutely amazing. Everybody really brought their A game to this, and it showed. Like it was like lots of A games all together in one thing. So pretty exciting. Okay, now this was the lights out before the disco lights went on, because then there were those that provided some nice movement, but you could see this from across the room. I can't tell you, like especially the green of the windows that we used, all that light trans neon green.
The moving,
if you ever
want
want
waterfall
and the moving waterfall, like if you want to make a bright impression in black light, that neon green, trans neon green is the thing, because it was like a beacon. You could see it from across the room during the lights out segment. It was pretty cool looking, I gotta say.
and we've got lots of coral.
And lots of coral really popped. And let's see what else we got. Yeah, here's a sort of a more close up of the some of the bits.
Yeah, we noticed a difference between the different trans greens as well.
Like those friends trees, or they look kind of like cypress trees. That are not friends. Dreams.
Yeah, the greens. Yeah, because there's like the old trans green versus the new trans green, right?
Right, and then there's also some of these too that we lit with white light rather than with the neon light. Because here's one thing, by the way, if you're making a building that has all these neon green pieces on it, and then you hit it with a black light, it renders those windows completely opaque. Like you cannot see through it. So make sure that you light the inside of the room with white light as well if you want to be able to see both things, right? That's something we kind of figured out earlier on. It was
we spent a lot of time making little stories inside our mock and placing figures and replacing them,
like you do,
and putting lights. And really, the whole thing I think was such a spectacle. I'm not sure anyone saw our little stories on the inside.
Yeah,
but the minifigures know.
And here's a pic of the other side during the lights out. It was really fantastic. Ahoy, hoy, Monica and Snowlena, hello. So you can see it made an impression of in the lights out sequence. And I will say, and I'm very proud of this. Now that was a tragedy. So I just wanted to say real quick that there was actually talk of instituting a trophy for the lights out portion of the show based on our setup, which I thought was really exciting. So maybe we'll see that at the Bricks Cascade in the future. They did that in Chicago.
Well, Chicago were innovators of the world of lights, right?
Yeah, theirs is like a whole spectacular. Like people really.
It probably has something to do with brick stuff being based there.
Well, that's very possible. Yep.
I'm curious if y'all feel the same way. I feel like the lights out is the highlight or the sort of the climax, the pinnacle of the whole Bricks Cascade experience.
Yeah, for me it is for sure.
Yeah. Yep. It is. It always has been for me. Any show that I've gone to that has a lights out, it's always the best part.
Feels special. I don't know if it's that it follows the award ceremony. Everyone's kind of together, but it just feels like a special set of moments.
It does. It does. And
Yeah,
sorry,
and it's nice and quiet. It's intimate. I think it's a little more intimate with the lights out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, there's just a certain amount of whimsy to it as well, you know.
Right.
Like
Well,
you're not really you're not so much analyzing the build. It becomes a little bit more abstract at that point. It just becomes like, I don't know. You never quite know what to expect when the lights go out.
Hello, Snowlena and Brick Built Josh.
Yeah, and let's see, and Monica showed up. But hey, let's take a look at here is what the here's a video of what it looked like with the hey Matthew. We're getting ready to look at here's the video of it during the lights out. And
you can see on the right there, you can see Leonard's Korean magnetized movement there.
Yeah, and here I'm gonna play this again just because it's awesome, and you know we need to look at it again.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
on a loop. Yep. So yeah, that is the incredible TrickyLUG collab. It was just incredible, and I'm so proud of everybody because everybody just did incredible work.
It was an honor to be a part of it. Everyone really came out.
Yeah, they really did.
Well, and it meant a lot to me. Joel was standing out in front and said that he had been standing in front with other builders from the club, and just how much joy they had gotten out of not only planning this in advance, but seeing it all come together.
It seemed like just from the outside there were a lot of underwater builds.
There were several notable underwater.
Yeah, there were
builds.
several notable underwater builds for sure, and we'll definitely be talking about that.
You struck a pulse.
Yes, exactly. We're on the zeitgeist.
Okay,
so on the leading edge of what is contemporary building themes.
Well, we had an exciting moment, one of many exciting moments, but this one really stood out. Flynn and I were we were away from our build on Friends and Family, looking at things, and I came back to the piece to check on it, and I was waiting for the monorail to come out of the tunnel, and it never came out of the tunnel, and then I looked on the floor, and that's what I saw. That's our monorail train there.
We had a catastrophic derailment, but we fixed it, and it went back in.
I think we should take a moment to discuss why there's a failure, because I think it would be a hot tip for other builders.
Well, there was a big lesson here.
It was a domino effect. I'm just going to say that. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Remember I told you to note that Sweet Mayhem in the end of the tunnel there? Well, Sweet Mayhem did have a couple of Belleville doors covering the front of the tunnel. And because we didn't want to use the white castle door attachments there.
Well, we didn't want to. We didn't have them.
Well, we had the white ones, and they didn't go with our color palette. So we came up with this idea. We would put a little slot down in front of the tunnel, like with a little ledge piece, and we would just rest it there and lean it up against the tunnel.
Don't ever do that.
Don't ever just attach everything attached to studs, because we had an elevator which went up and down. And it was going up and down just fine. And while we were away, what we figured out happened is the elevator mechanism pulled off, the elevator crashed
to
down,
the bottom,
nudged the tunnel, the doors fell off onto the track, and then I saw video of this because people had been videotaping our piece when it happened. The train came around, hit the doors, and just went,
pew! Yeah. And also another one is like if you have a monorail or a train going around, maybe leave yourself about 6 inches from the front of the table, just so if it does derail, maybe it'll land on the table and not onto the floor.
But anyway, but there was no freaking out. We got it back
We
together.
did get it back together. But I want to say that this fills me with joy. This is unfortunately not everybody who worked on it, but as many people as we could get together. This was our picture from the show with everybody there. It was really great. A lot of the contributors are here. So
Cute.
really, really fun. So we've got Ken there in the back. Let me see. Can I use my little pointer?
Ken did his
Ken
own
here.
lighting with soldering and precise electronics.
We got PT here. There's Leonard, and there's See You Later. We got Adam and Kat and Sam, and I don't know who this doofus is. Richard, Holly. This is James, and we've got Yano, and of course our own bookworm, bookworm. Denise.
Wow. Wow, nicely done there. Smooth.
Woo. All right. Anyway,
And James donated for the duration of the show a huge amount of awesome sea life, including an orca. Right?
orcas, and he brought a whole bunch of stuff. So it just and what that's a really great thing for, and I hope to expand this in our future collabs, and that is, that everybody can participate in whatever way they feel comfortable. So like if you feel overwhelmed by doing a 32 by 32 base plate, like you don't have to just to be involved. Like you could just make a ship and send it along, even if you can't be there. Or, like James did, if you have some interesting pieces that, are unique and you think that becoming useful, well, we can take care of that as well. So
Or don't build anything and just show up to help zhush things.
you did major zhuzhing work, Holly. I think you should be proud. You did a great job.
And I want to shout out to Adam too. Adam, your ships looked great all over the collab.
They really did.
Thank you.
They were spectacular. Really great. But
Hey, I want to thank everyone for letting me put my ships all over their builds because I had nowhere to put it.
Okay, can I say the three cutest cosplayers in the entirety of Bricks Cascade or anywhere really?
Wow.
Such great costumes. And I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of this cat was when this is how hardcore. She's like, if you turn the figure around and you lift the cape up, there's like a bag on the back of the belt. So like I made the bag on the back of the belt. And I was like, you go, girl. You do those details. She's like, I can put my phone there. I was like, it's perfect.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
Sam and Kat, you guys looked amazing. The capes were on point. The hats were so cute. You guys and everybody that came over to see your build, they just loved your costume too. When they would walk away and you guys were talking to like another group looking at your build, they were always talking about your costume too.
That's nice.
So
we got the biggest,
which I think now is an appropriate time to mention that this spectacular build. This is the bottom of the spectacular build. By Kat and Sam. Oh, that's because it's all in close up. Weird. There we go. This spectacular build by Kat and Sam.
Video of it too.
We do have video of it too because it was on. This is sort of, I guess, what you would consider the front. Won Best in Show. So congratulations.
They were also runners-up for People's Choice.
Yes, which was, well deserved.
In celebration, you should get some cookies.
Should absolutely get some cookies.
Oh, is it that time already?
I'm afraid that special time is going to have to just hold on for a minute because I feel like Kat and Sam need to have like the full spotlight here. So let's get congratulations, y'all.
Sweet.
So proud of you. So happy for you.
With the week since then, it just has struck me what an honor it is to have all these amazing builders. So many of you in the chat vote for us. I mean, that was really touching.
We did have some builders come up and say, because of the costumes, we're definitely voting for you. You were all in.
See, I gotta say, if you put that effort in, like when we did Snake Queen, I know a lot of the reason the majority of people ended up seeing it because I was actively pulling people from the phone, like, hey, you want to see a show? Like, you really gotta, you know, like if you
engage
sell
with
it and you
people.
engage with people, they love it.
Well, I was mesmerized by this piece. I came back time and time again, and every time I came back, I saw other amazing details tucked inside.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
incredible. So
So
about
it's
how long did you work on this?
It was 4 months of rainy coastal evenings.
Sam worked on it even a lot lot of days as well.
I had a couple days in there. Yeah, that's true.
But we started in October and finished at the beginning of February.
Nice.
And
Wow.
we actually, Hooded One had a good question. How did we transport it? We actually built this specifically to fit in our Prius. So we had planned the height and width that we had space for, because you might remember Sam's build last year was a tiny bit on the large side.
And we had to rent a giant van to get it there, and we didn't want to do that again. So
Tiny bit.
This is built to be fit our little Prius.
Well, the other thing is Sam really wanted it to be able to turn. So we put it on a turntable. Last year, a lot of people didn't see the back and sides of the big bathhouse build that he did. And so this will solve our problems in the future. We can always have 360-degree builds.
It's really fantastic.
Well, Sam, you told me some about how this worked, and I was really amazed to see, because the windows you look in to see all of the little sections are so irregularly shaped. Tell me, they're basically like shadow boxes, right?
Yeah, basically so I was building up the structure of the tree, and I'd say something like, Catherine, I need a 4x6 by maybe 8 stud tall shadow box.
He'd hand me a plate and say the room, and I'd build a room.
And it was always way too tiny, and she'd somehow make it look wonderful and enormous, even though it was a tiny little room. And so then I would have to sort of make that box fit the tree. And basically all those boxes would fit into whatever the
outside of
the stud perimeter was. So it would fit in with that, and then you'd have to reconcile inside the tree, inside the structure.
So here's a lovely video of the rotating. It was just fantastic.
Your color palette on the castle is unique. I've never seen that combination before, and it was so lovely.
Yeah, I mentioned that as well. And what can you tell us the 3 colors that you combined there?
Yeah, so that's a combination of tan, aqua, and yellowish green. And they just actually came out with masonry in yellowish green and aqua, like from the January set. So if we had just done this 6 months later, we could have had masonry
wonderful
in
colors.
It.
And
but,
they worked.
Yeah, the tying it together with white was what really solved it for us, because of the part diversity, and both the tan and the white provided that part diversity so that we could do things like close gaps and do really interesting surrounds for the windows. And so Sam had prototyped a little tiny section and had come to me, and I was like, that was the color scheme that I was thinking would be good. And I've used those colors before, but it was really, really nice to see how well it turned out, because we kind of planned the bottom half a lot more than the top half. And so the castle was really just it's time to build a castle. Any idea how to do that? No idea. Our only practice was last collab. Thank goodness we did the collab last year. We would have had no idea what we were doing.
Well, this is all lit really beautifully too. The lighting was all hidden and the wires controlled, and it looked awesome at lights out, as well as because you made your own shade, you could see the lighting during the full light portion.
It felt like it was a nice counterpoint to the TrickyLUG build. Like that TrickyLUG build was like excitement, and this was solace or peace, and you could kind of go back and forth and get the two feelings.
Those mushrooms were one of my favorite parts there.
Mine too, and I love this roof treatment. The curvy roof is really fantastic.
Well, Sam is quite fond of the 1x2 round plate, and so
you can do anything with them. You can do anything with them.
That's a whole tower, isn't it? From what I've seen.
Yeah,
the tower. Yeah.
But this is the part that's amazing. he put those flat windows into that round structure.
Yeah.
And somehow managed to make it work because of the wonder of the 1x2 round plate.
I also want to point out this pine cone was like the talk of the town. Like I heard so many people talking about the pine cone.
Well,
like,
your eye kind of goes right there too because of the
Not the
contrast of it.
sunflower.
the sunflower too, but
sunflower.
the pine cone was really special. Like in person, like just it was just perfect.
I'm sending Sam to pull them off. We still have it put together because there were a lot of people at the coast that hadn't made it out to see it. So we have the builds. We have not taken it apart yet.
You win an
Oh,
award.
very good.
All of a sudden, people
you
actually
told
want
me-
to see what you do.
Yeah,
there's-
here, let's.
So
Yeah. So cute.
yeah, we actually had someone come up and go, "It's actually not a real pine cone. It's made out of Lego." And I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing too. I hadn't seen that part of it. The
But what
top-
was fun is, kids would come up and they go, "Oh, a sunflower up there," and so then I'd just inherently pull it down and show them the inside. That was always a nice moment.
some
Yeah,
of
that's
the
intense.
Did you have project support, or how did you get these many, just so many of multiple piece types?
So Brick Link is a very good friend. We Pick a Brick is a very good friend. We have more crocodile tails than anyone else probably in North America at this point. Sam says that's not true. But yeah,
There's so many crocodiles out there that will never have tails now.
I do
I
feel,
pulled them
I
off
do feel
one
guilty.
by one.
I do feel guilty. I do feel guilty about that.
But hey, so now I think we are going to have to move forward with a certain cookie time because a certain dog is going to revolt if we don't do this soon.
We already lost Skittles. She gave up.
Yes, check, I'm done. But friends, it is when a second it will be once I get my controls in order here. Sorry, I've been like stretching the size of the screen in and out and ridiculousness. Okay, here we go. And that's right. It is time for Logan Cookie Time. Wow, he thought it wasn't happening. There he is. Hi, buddy. There he is.
One of the big ones. Say hi to everyone. Oh, that's a big cookie. Oh, you got it.
Yes.
Okay, you can have this one for our sound of happiness, everyone.
Very good. And now it's time for the weather with Skittles.
All right, she has very little room to work with here, so we'll see what we can do. Okay, Skittles, can you catch it? Maybe if I scoot you up against the table. There you go. Ready? Nope. Okay, I guess you caught it. Sure. Maybe you catch it
on the
before-
rebound. By the way, I love that Skittles has her on-camera persona because, as Adam will tell you,
Yeah, completely different dog in person. Ready? Okay. Good night. Really? Come on now. She just looked down waiting for it.
Cloudy with a chance of cookies.
Skittles.
and that has been
She caught it.
Logan Cookie Time with special guest star Skittle. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna go back.
When you dropped.
Oops, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like here, real quick. Here's my wrist. Okay, so here is now. I'm showing. I want to show this again, not only because it's just fabulous, but also because here's a picture of it with the lights off.
Woo!
And it was, similarly amazingly spectacular with the lights off as with the lights on. And just really beautifully done.
Arguably even more spectacular.
Well, it just invites you to look deeply
Yeah.
into the piece.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is a spectacle on its own, but the lights just draw you into all the little stories.
Yeah, if you hadn't noticed, just like glancing at it, that it had all that interior detail, there was no doubt once the lights went out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
It was an interesting experience for us because we had never seen it from a distance until that moment. And it's got me thinking about motion in Lego builds only for the sake of the lighting, so that the things rotate around a light in a way. And it's like an abstract shape or just a shape, but it just allow the light to change, because that is a thing that I don't feel like you see very often. But that thing kind of surprised me.
Yeah. No, since it was on a turntable, you weren't plugged into power for it. Was everything battery powered, or did you?
Yeah, we had a little scene you can see at the bottom is a little wedding. It's on its own plate on tile. You slide that out, you take a door off, and there's a phone battery drive spot in there inside the tree.
Oh, one of those like powerful lithium batteries.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let's see. I gotta get back over here. Okay, so this was. Wait, sorry. Can we see that again?
Oh, that's the little wedding scene that stays in front of the battery door.
Oh, so nice. That's fantastic. Whoops. No.
Hi.
Well,
Hi, guys.
there we go. Sorry about that. It's a lot of buttons, you guys. There's a lot of buttons.
So there were other underwater pieces in addition to ours.
So there was this piece by Eric, and well, I mean, I think he did it with a couple of other people as well, but it was mostly him. This thing was absolutely fantastic.
Well,
Like,
it was enormous.
massive.
For one, it was
Massive.
yeah, it was massive.
4 or 5 foot cube.
And it's hard to tell from this picture because it's so close up, but it was absolutely huge. And then here is a great picture of it. Actually, let me see if I can get this bigger because it's kind of small. There we go.
So in the back there is a translucent wall of water done with trans blue pieces, and it's hard to tell in this, but there was a whale behind the level of water that was specifically
There you can see it.
There
you can see it with the lights off. It was just, it was so huge, like absolutely enormous. Now this guy, the guy that does this, Eric, he does really big pieces all the time. Like that's his thing. Like one time he did a huge waterfall, the very first Cascade we went to. And then last year he did this amazing bathroom. It was like a whole bathroom that had like a
sink and a cabinet underneath it.
Yeah.
And then when you look, and it looked photorealistic. It really, all of the details looked like real objects. And then when you come closer, there's all these little like trolls or characters having stories inside of it.
Yeah. You can't. Oh, wow. Yes. I think we all see what you did there. Yes. I think we all see.
I will say about his the whale that's in the background there. It is brick built, and it's like a mosaic that's laid into that background.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I asked him about it. I said, "How'd you get that whale?" I said, "Is it brick built? Is it just like a picture?" And he said, "No, he actually like wove it through as a mosaic through that the trans blue plates."
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop. He's amazing. Amazing. All right. This was a great. So from here on out, these are now all pictures of. Oh, by the way, sorry, I should mention that this piece, it was hilarious. So Cat and Sam got Best in Show. This got runner up for Best in Show. This won People's Choice, and Cat and Sam came in runner up for People's Choice. So it was like definitely the two best things in the room by everybody's measure. It was really, really fantastic and very different, but both embracing that kind of peaceful vibe like you were talking about.
And both nature-based builds.
Yes. So there's something to that, I think. So anyway, from here on out, we've just got a kind of variety of pictures that people sent me of builds that they liked, and we will do our best to credit the builders where we can. I know this one you can actually see the builder's name, and let's see.
Brandon, he was a first-time exhibitor.
Yes, Brandon, that's right. And check this out, everybody. It's Beetlejuice. If you haven't figured it out by the sign that says Beetlejuice right there, but it's a great build. I love the Dantes. That was it's like one of the and timely because apparently there's a sequel coming out 5 million years later.
Yeah.
Now let's see. Whoop, sorry. Boop. This one was. I think this was one that you took, Holly, isn't it?
I think you're on all of my photos now. You've been on my photos.
They're all mixed up, but yes.
Okay, gotcha.
This took best architecture, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kimberly gifted.
Yeah.
And she brought back the moving koi pond, so the fish move in that koi pond.
That's incredible. Look at that.
And this one best in show at BrickCon.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah, Kimberly's got like 2 in a row, 3 in a row,
Two in
something
a row.
crazy. With
Yeah,
BrickCon.
Kimberly. That's
Which
it's incredible.
which BrickCon? Atlanta BrickCon or a different one?
No, Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Seattle.
only BrickCon.
Well, there
Yeah, I
is
noticed that Nebraska Brick Days has the same schedule as this one, but we're gonna set it aside.
This was pretty cool. I
That was
gotta
for
say.
Kara.
And what'd you say?
I said that I took that for Kara.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, I love seeing people go outside of the IP range a little bit. Like it's always nice, right? And obviously during Lights Out, really great. Oh, so this is Yano's Toys R Us build, which won in Pirates.
Yeah.
So
for classic. I don't think there's ever been maybe there's been a TrickyLUG win for classic.
I don't know if there has been.
Maybe.
Because this was in. Wait, no, was this in Classic or was it in Pirate? I gotta say it was confusing because
It's very confusing.
Classic did a sort of museum series of all of the different pirate ships, but then it was like flanked by actual pirate section, so it was a little and it was hard to tell where one ended and the other one started.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really confused as to why it wasn't in my section.
Oh, why? Oh, right.
Yeah, because mine's Castle Pirate, and that was over there in Classic, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it seems like it should have been in your section. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see how it'd be confusing too if you were setting up your, if you went to go set up your ship and you see 3 tables of ships.
Well, I will say that she did enter this in Classic. You can see it on the mock card. So
well, I mean, Toys R Us is pretty classic.
yeah. So I think it's great, and so glad that was another win for a TrickyLUG member.
Well, it at least made that category a little more interesting. That's for sure.
It was,
and
fun.
that was a good use of Big Lick container too.
Yes. Yeah. Make
All right.
good display stands. Sure.
So this is our friend Tim Heydrich, and this is the Mist map.
Fantastic.
It really was, Moto. Like it was really great, and he actually towards the end of the con brought us over to it and was asking us how we would kind of slice it up for transport
because it's huge. It was in very few pieces.
Yeah, he didn't measure his car like some people. And yeah, I mean, just it was really, really cool seeing it like that.
We went to his builder spotlight, which was really fascinating. He actually used a feature of Studio where you can bring a STL, which is a type of 3D object file, into Studio and create a Lego brick built model from an STL file.
Oh yes, that's right.
And to get that STL file, he actually used an elevation map was from Blender that was light to dark, and he was able to bring that STL from Blender and then use that STL to sort of give him an idea of how many bricks he would need for this build.
That's incredible.
I love
You
those
know
facts.
how at Legoland they do a lot of studs up building, like just like big Lego bricks studs up. This was a tour de force of studs up building.
Yeah, well, and of course it really captured that look of the game.
Yeah, very 90s kind of 16-bit type game.
So good.
Gave
so
me
good.
trauma of puzzle solving.
Yeah.
I've been standing here for 20 minutes trying to make this, pressing this button.
I
Trying to
found
make
that
it work.
CD-ROM in my garage not so long ago. The original, Mist. Yeah,
So this was in Pirate, right, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
that was cool.
I really liked this one a lot too. It was just like, I especially liked the jointed tentacles was really cool. Do you recall who made? I can't see the mock card, unfortunately.
I have a picture of it. I can't remember what his name was. He's a really nice guy too.
Let's see if we can. No, it's not gonna. Oh yeah, there we go.
Everything
Yeah.
is okay.
Kip. Here is a bit of trivia for you. Kip is original Logan's original name when we when we adopted him. Then we changed it because Logan is cooler. But for a dog. Anyway, so yeah, really like this piece. I love the all the different, like the waves and it had a lot going on. So it was really cool.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
People really brought their token of appreciation game to this. con.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
true.
It's really taken hold for sure.
We had an 8-year-old come up during the public sessions or times and bring us a token that she had made.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
cute.
that's
Oh my
sweet.
goodness. Oh, this was so cool.
I love this piece.
Yeah.
Oh, it's another one of those multi-layer shadow box effects.
Yes,
Ooh.
and he did a beautiful job. You can, I know it's hard to see in the picture, but that's a dragon in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really beautifully done. Just fantastic.
That won an award too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of these were award winners.
Mhm.
Most amount of snot connections.
So this
Speaking
is
of an award-winning artist.
Yeah, this is Paul
Mhm.
Hetherington, who we're big fans of, and is such a nice guy.
I think he's king of color.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, like, and applying the color in a way, even though he uses lots of color, that's very thoughtful and is easy to look at. You know what I mean? It just
It's very graphic. I love how he always simplifies something down to comic book art panel and then renders it.
He has a very graphic quality to all of his builds.
Yeah. So
Sorry, not graphic like 18 plus.
Sure, we know what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Very streamlined design and color blocking is,
It's beautiful.
Pretty
He built it
clean.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I like the difference between the minifigures attending the ride and the micro dolls
That are the
in
dolls.
ride.
Yes, it's really clever. He's a really amazing artist.
No, I was telling him as I rounded, because you'll see his other build in a second too, but I saw his other build and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I looked at the card and I was like, oh, it's Paul. Of course it's cool, right? And then I round the corner and I saw this one. I was like, ooh, that's cool. Oh, it's Paul.
And
No
he
surprise.
saved
Like
all of
suddenly,
his
once I
builds.
see the credit, I'm like, well, of course it's cool.
He doesn't take
It was Hetherington all along.
See, exactly. Speaking of Hetherington all along, here's another one.
It's Army.
Yeah, this one was really. I feel like I can't remember if I've seen this one before or not. No, he did a Prince one that was really cool that he had in Chicago. I remember that. But yeah,
I made a point of saying that he and Eric need to hang out sometime. I think they'd be best buds.
they would be. Yes. I think they would appreciate each other. All
I
right.
did not anticipate
Okay.
though, that we would
I
have.
gotta say. Oh, sorry, Kat. What were you saying?
I was going to say, I did not anticipate that we would have a Kiss soundtrack as the background for our build for the entire weekend.
It was right. It was on the other table, right across from their castle. Yep.
Yeah, Holly got a taste of that when she was across from Snake Queen.
Right. It's a show.
So I wanted to say something about this particular piece. So this is one of the pieces that made it into everybody's photos that they sent me to show today. Like everybody had ones that were like slightly different. This is the one that everybody sent me a picture of this, and
I didn't.
I have a picture of this one too. It is so good.
Does this one have motion?
Yes, all the signs
Because
went
the
up and
title
down.
card says machine. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if you had a video.
They
of the
did. They
motion.
all went. Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah.
I unfortunately, like, it was I only saw, I mean, I know it moves because I saw it, but I only saw it moving once, and it didn't seem to move throughout most of the. What were you saying,
The words
Sam?
spinning on them. The words were kind of spinning on him a little bit, or them a little bit. So I think they might have been.
Oh, got
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah. Well, still, it was impressive and a really fun build. Just like, yeah, just really fun.
Of the whole thing, I really keyed in on the little armadillo at the top, though. I thought that was adorable.
Oh,
And
man, I thought they were anteaters. So I looked down
Or
below
it could
and
be
there's
an
a big
anteater.
tongue.
I guess it is an anteater because there's what looks to be maybe an ant under it.
I also loved the blanket.
Yeah.
It's really
Nice.
good. All right. Okay, so this now you
Hashima.
all probably remember when we were in Chicago, and we actually had Simon on to talk about it, but this is a tiny, tiny piece of new Hashima, which we showed you from Chicago, that amazing cyber city. And, you know, it was kind of hard to tell any details of this, but this is actually a close-up of one of those little units. And you can just see how incredibly built it is.
Where the heck was this at?
It was right by space.
Yeah, it was like right on the corner of space. I mean,
Totally
it's
missed
small.
that.
Like
Totally
it was only,
missed
like,
it.
you know, pretty small, but man, it was so. Yeah. Sorry, Isaac. What was the fella's name who did this? Chris. I can't remember his last name, but yeah. And so yeah, the demon thing, that was like a video screen. That was actually like an LED video screen that was showing a video, and there were lots of those in.
Yeah, but the filaments used for neon lighting, I haven't seen that effect before.
That's EL wire.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. It's a really cool idea.
It's cool, right? And the way that they use the snot pieces almost to like sew the threads through. I just thought it was so impressive.
That's how neon signs are. That's really neat.
Yeah.
He also had multiple channels of control, so parts of it would blink on and off separately from other parts of it.
Yeah, it was really impressive. I just had to.
Let's title this one Lasagna.
Paul Hetherington's partner, Melissa.
That's right. And I had to laugh because somebody, I don't remember who was it. We were talking to somebody that said they had a Garfield phone as a kid when we were at the convention. I don't remember who it was, but then like I saw this, and so like I had to take a picture of it.
I also really like that if you look closely at the eyelids and the chin, there are darker patches of orange mixed in with the lighter patches.
Oh yeah, like
of orange.
stippled in.
Yeah, and I think that's really important thing to remember when you're doing mosaics that are really big like this, is adding in some color variation like that really adds to the texture of the whole thing and keeps it from just looking like a blank wall, kind of like a wall of color, if you will. This one was cool. I don't know.
That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know who made this, but I do actually know who made this. This is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you won a trophy for this, right?
I got an honorable mention.
Yes.
It's fun. We still have her together, but I bet Sam. Oh, yeah. So Sam and I set up in over in pop culture, and I was a little bit concerned, so I put on the card, the mock card, please call me if you need to move this mock. And the theme coordinator did not call me. He picked it up to put it on this shelf, and as he was setting it down on the shelf, it just disintegrated because she is not built very strongly. And it was really so I come back and her arm is looking a little weird, and there's some other pieces in the background that are looking a little strange, and oh my gosh, I spent 20 or 30 minutes rebuilding, but it was a lot of fun. It was fine.
Oh, so when it came apart, did she try to put it back together?
Yeah, he did. And
no.
Really good job. There are just a few problems that I had to solve. But anyway, it was it was a fun build. I actually had one of my library friends come, and she's like, Catherine, why didn't you put the book next to the build? And I'm like, that would have been really smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, maybe, but I will say that I'm not familiar with the source material, and I was incredibly. I mean, like it was one of the first things I took a picture of. Like I noticed it right away. So I think that, it kind of transcends its source material but is just a cool build. And I'll tell you, like, I don't know about everybody else here, and I think that Adam might have something to say about this, but at least our part of the TrickyLUG collab was maybe the flimsiest thing that we've ever built. Like it was like a put it down and don't breathe on it.
Well, we made it from a lot of large panels and columns, so there was like zero overlapping of bricks. It was like the number one thing you teach kindergartners is overlap your bricks, and we weren't able to do that.
I know, Adam, you had some troubles with some things. Like I know you made this beautiful orca ship, but the bottom of it didn't actually have any way to attach it. It was like fit stuff downward.
That one the orca was really hollow on the inside, and it's built. It looks great when it's sitting, but yeah, I built it, kind of like an upside down type situation, and I could use like one Technic brick to like put underneath and hold it up, but that's pretty much it. So we just rested it on your landing pad, and it worked out. So thank you.
It stayed. It stayed there.
But I
three times it fell apart, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. But then I sat on it for like an hour, and I went over to Castle, and I just rebuilt it. And I just left it for a little bit, and I brought it back over. Patience.
Well, I think that a lot of times we see mocks that make it to, and I think of this in particular, we see mocks that make it onto Lego Ideas, and then when the actual model comes out, you're like, wow, it looks really different than the original model, but there's no guarantee that original model wasn't made to sit on a shelf and look cute and not necessarily, have to be given to a 14-year-old to put together or something like that, so
meant to be played with.
Exactly.
And you have a lot more people building for Instagram these days too, which it doesn't have to have any structural integrity, really.
Yeah.
Look good in a picture.
Well, Adam, some of your ships were more swooshable than others, right?
Yeah. I mean, the orca was swooshable. It just didn't, there was no like connector points on the bottom of the other side of it to like be able to set it up anywhere, which was totally my bad. And I knew I was going to run into that issue. So I only have myself to blame.
Well, that's a lesson, like with our doors on the front of that tunnel. It might do that at the convention.
Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times we knocked those stupid doors off while we were building it, and we would insist on putting them back up like it wasn't going to happen again.
I think everyone is actually underselling the ridiculousness of these teeny tiny, flimsy, thin doors, completely wrecked an entire monorail system.
Oh,
just obliterated.
It's Belleville. It was the Belleville curse.
That's
so like
anymore.
Speaking of a Belleville curse, we have a cursed build in here somewhere. I don't know. I can't see. Like I don't remember what order I put everything in, but it's in here. I'm just gonna say that.
I had to attach that specifically for Moto.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Well, actually, there's two photos.
What did I actually do with it? I wasn't there.
There's two things here that
You're there in spirit, Moto.
Yeah.
No. I was at the world's largest ball of twine.
Well,
that's where I was at.
Well, I'll tell you, there were a couple of things that I looked at that I was like, no, Moto needs to see this. I need to take a picture of this for Moto, and both of them ended up in here. So, okay, this is amazing.
I'll try to preemptively guess which ones are
displayed
for me, for my eyes only.
So this was a huge layout.
Yes, this was this Paradisa pier that was like, basically Paradisa taken to the nth degree.
So awesome.
Yeah,
it had complex roller coasters.
Oh,
which, as we've seen with ours, sometimes went from autonomous to a little puppet-like by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like he was having to nudge it up the incline.
Is this a return updated model?
I
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
why this looks
never
so
seen it.
familiar. It's like I'm having deja vu, but
But if you look
Probably
over
not.
here on the left-hand side of the picture, everybody, you can see this S-curve roller coaster track. It literally went down there and upside down and back around. Like it was able to stick. But yeah, it was definitely having a few troubles. And it was like one guy built this whole thing. It was really impressive.
It's really good lit up too. I put a picture in there of it.
Yep.
it's cool.
And here it is at night.
Yeah.
There was
Oh,
a
great.
great haunted house on the pier.
Yeah, the haunted house was my favorite part. No surprise. But yeah, and then you can see here, right here, this was where that was the roller coaster up, like the slope up that went to the top, and it was really decorated with really nice colors and stuff. Really nice.
He said the builder said that he was really hesitant to do that, like Terror, the House of Terror or whatever, because it wasn't Paradisa colors. He tried to stick to as many Paradisa colors as he possibly could. And then, he said when he built it, he goes, well, it really stands out. So he's like, I'm okay with having it here. And it really popped.
Contrast was cool.
Yeah, it's perfect. It made a really nice, like, little break from the other colors, honestly. Like it was like a nice little, like, pop of something different. And there's the whole thing at night. I know.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, really, just really, really beautiful. So,
like, I want to live at Sam and Catherine's tree. I want to live there, but I want a vacation there.
Yes, exactly. And there's another little picture from the other side of it.
Oh, this is for me. This is right at my alley.
This was another one that multiple people sent me pictures of this, and I had taken a picture of it myself. So this is Isaac, our very own Isaac, who did the baby Thomas.
Good job, Isaac. This is something I would love to have put together. You channeled
really
everything
good.
perfectly.
Oh, absolutely terrifying. I love it. Let's see.
Moto, I think you'd like all of Isaac's building. It's all very
you would for sure.
Yeah.
So this is our good friend Jake Sadovich made this marionette. We do. I'm just got to find it.
You can actually,
what was that?
you can actually like operate it.
Yes, we have a video of him operating it. So
You'd have to.
Well, and okay,
He was very cheeky when he operated.
he
it,
was,
too.
and this is what this is called dedication to your craft. Like, not only did he like study marionette making in order to make this work properly, but he like straight up learned how to move like how to actually puppeteer it. Like, that's dedication. So I'm gonna have to actually.
Well, also it looks like Jake. And the fact that it is, no, I mean, so Jake intentionally put his own self into the jester costume, which is a great little meta reference to the way Jake kind of is involved in the community and what he builds. So I mean, he's a multi-layered man. He's like an onion. You peel each layer and you cry.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Underneath talent.
Oh, well, you should have seen his rugs, by the way. He's making rugs now, and they are incredible.
Yeah, he's been doing that for 2 or 3 years, and they're always amazing.
Yeah, he
they auction
started
off too if you want to own one. He usually auctions them off for charity.
Yep.
We wanted to go and take a nap on them.
Yeah.
I wanted to stand on them. I was like, he should be selling them at the convention for like. I suggested to him if he could figure out a way to incorporate those little standing mats into them, he'd make a fortune at the conventions.
Oh yeah, well, it was so funny because he was just like, hey, I could just ask people to like, take your shoes off and come on over here and stand on this, and so I did, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But hey, so here is actual footage of him controlling it. Did you get the cheeky part? On camera?
Maybe part of it. We definitely see the back of the cave.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Please
That's
tell me
awesome.
you got it. didn't you?
So articulate.
He might not have done that. He had a puppeteer came over who actually operated it as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, that was Jake's marionette, and unfortunately, we didn't get the best part, but like he could make it twerk, and he was like making his little butt go up and down. It was really funny. But yeah, another great piece of work by Mr. Sadovich there. Let's see, gonna get back to the. Oh, okay. So if you remember from last year's Bricks Cascade, Ryan Van Duzer, who is an incredible builder, he did an entirely enclosed like Dayglow jellyfish thing last year. Like it had a curtain all the way around it. It was really incredible. And he did that with some other people, right, Adam?
He did it with one other gentle sir, maybe two, but I know one for sure.
It was Trey and
yeah,
maybe some. Yeah, I think there was somebody else involved, but I don't know how much. I know it was mostly Ryan and Trey.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is what Ryan turned out this year, and I just want you to bask in the glow of this for a minute, because it's really one of the more incredible nature builds that I've ever seen.
It's massive too.
Yeah, it was like life size, basically.
Well, pieces like this and the underwater with the whale and Salmon Cat's mushroom tree were encouraging people to talk about possibly having a nature theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. And it was really funny because I was talking to, I hope he doesn't mind that I tell this story because it was very funny. He was like, well, I really wanted to have like like blood coming off of the fish, because that's what would happen. Like
He's
if it was
keen observer. Yes.
Yes, he is very keen observer. And then he like showed me a picture
Yeah.
of this osprey, and the fish didn't have a head, and it was like guts coming out. It was really horrifying. And he's like, yeah, I just figured, with the kids, maybe it
Yeah, you think?
Trying and run away.
Good
so
call. Good
so
judgment.
Ryan is a life sciences teacher, so he has his builds always have some kind of nature thing, and also he designs really good Nikes. By the way,
Well, he's not like a professional shoe designer. He's just good at
but
like
he should be.
Yeah, the like build your own Nike kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now remember, kids, if you don't behave, the big bird can come down and pick you up and carry
the big
you away.
osprey will come.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if that was the same fish that he displayed last year.
It might be,
because he had a big fish that looked very much like that. If it's not the same.
No,
last year was he had the salmon last year.
It was a salmon. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that a significant portion of this was built while suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was cool too. It was hanging, so you could really appreciate it from all the sides. It was great. Okay, let's see. Come on. Okay, so this is the old woman in the shoe. I love the shaping on the shoe. This is a friend of mine that I worked with on a job, and I don't know what happened, because I know I took a picture of it, but I couldn't find it. Is this donut shop on the left is also hers, and it was so detailed inside, and the story that went along with it was hilarious. Apparently this was the donut shop where her and her friends used to go in the 70s to buy cigarettes for 75 cents from the vending machine, and on the back wall was the cigarette machine with the it was really funny.
She builds oversized so she can build very, very detailed furnishings, right?
You may remember last year too that she did the Victorian dollhouse. Was hers that we showed pictures of. Just like incredible. Let's see. And if anybody has any thing to mention, please pop in. This was really cool.
All real Lego parts.
All real Lego parts. And what I loved about this is the builder actually, because I was looking at it the whole time and I was like, what? How did this person get all these things. Like it must have been a very specialized Bricklink order. And it turns out like he owns a Bricks and Minifigs.
Oh,
So he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
able to like pull pieces.
Oh, so it's not Dana Knudsen. This is someone else who does monochrome.
Correct. He
Okay.
is, and I'm sorry I can't see the mock card, but he runs one of the Bricks and Minifigs in Portland, and it actually is the one that
Oh.
we went to, if you remember, years ago
Mhm.
with Boone, and we did
Mhm.
like a build, sort of a build challenge
Yep.
thing there. And he told me when he saw me, he's like, "We still have your model in the store." So the model that I made.
Oh, for some reason, his name is.
Well, you won. You won the contest, so it should stay alive.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I did win that one. Ah.
Jeez.
I know. I don't remember. But yeah, it was really really great piece. So okay.
That is the Old West.
Whoop.
This
Yeah.
real
I guess not. Oh,
amazing. That sign was incredibly modeled.
Yeah, super cool.
Little silhouette of a little town in front of it. That's
Yeah.
not brick built town. It was just amazing.
Well, it was giving very Lego movie vibes
Mhm.
with the names like floating in the air.
Yeah, I couldn't help but after having zhuzhed on our collab for a day, I couldn't help but think that this one could have also benefited from some zhuzhing, just to kind of pull because you can tell it's a collab. You can tell each person sort of brought their own sort of module, and then there wasn't much to blend the themes.
The
Looks
train
zhuzhed.
was really, really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I'll say that we learned, and I think all of us who were involved learned a lot about doing collabs in this last project. I mean, like if you've never done a project with like 12 other people that all have to come together and make it work, like it's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
I'm gonna forever be triggered by seams from now on.
I know. Okay, I got to tell a funny story about the seams. So we were setting our piece up, and there was this seam that you could kind of see. And honestly, with everything else that was going
At
on
least
with
it's like
that
all
piece,
the same color, so it wasn't like it was that obvious.
right? But it was just like you could see the line, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go. There's like all that. And the first thing that happens after I decided to let it go is this guy walks up and he's like, "So how's it coming?" I was like, "Oh, it's good. We're just doing a little bit more zhuzhing." He goes, "Oh yeah, because you got to cover that seam right there." I was like, no, I have to do it.
And that's pretty much the point where Flynn handed me his whole suitcase of parts and was like, "Here, you fix it."
But yeah, this is a really fantastic collab. Really, really happy to see the big ones. And there's a couple of other ones. So this is Kate's.
And this is
who we
my
know.
favorite of the. I love her Stranger Things mosaic, but this one is so personal, and I think it's just lovely. It's my favorite.
Ooh, I hope it's her collab mosaic. I've seen
Oh, the
this.
collab was awesome.
Yeah.
I think you need to share your screen.
Yeah, you stopped the share.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Oh, let's go back.
I mean, you can describe it with words, and we'll visualize it.
We saw it
There we go.
momentarily.
Sorry.
There we
There we
go.
go.
This is one of a triptych of self-portraits that Kate is doing.
Yeah, they're really, really wonderful.
I like her own aesthetic work here because she designed this. She didn't just copy like a Liechtenstein.
Right.
And it was all.
Yeah, I like her own personal
freehand.
work better than the copies of modern art.
All this was freehand building.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
And she said, if you go back to it just for a moment, there's so little information in the mouth and nose area that one pixel, one way or the other, made a huge difference. And
Yeah.
she just agonized over that and like the details on the collarbone.
Well, I can definitely tell you from having done I did mine of a comic book frame, but yeah, like when you get into those little details, seriously, one pixel can make a huge amount of difference, whether somebody's mouth looks normal or weird,
I thought that was one of the Tricky Bricks memes. Is one stud makes all the difference.
Yes.
It's hashtag one stud off.
All right.
That's always the catchphrase is one stud
So
off.
this was, if you couldn't tell, the Jurassic Park build.
Well, which is enormous. And
Yeah.
you see that gray
Keeps growing.
crack behind the train is actually a brick built monorail that
Yes.
that travels along with wheels holding it to to the track.
Now, do you know how many people are involved in this, Adam?
Last year,
Oh, there's a lot.
Last year there was 17. I don't know this year.
Okay. Yeah, it's huge.
Including a giant volcano.
Yeah, and I did throw. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
this was the volcano at night.
yeah.
There with the lights off.
You'll notice
Now,
they
this is one that keeps getting additive every year.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
start over every year, right?
No.
Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
at the point that it's at now, this collab takes up as much room as a single or like a multiple
theme.
theme table. Like it's a whole circle of tables that goes all the way around.
Yeah, and I wanted to get into some of that discussion too
Cool.
about like the difference between like the themes versus kind of the lug collabs and stuff like that. I think is worth talking about at some point too.
Sure.
It was a hot
absolutely.
topic. Yeah.
More than
Mhm.
16 by 16 feet.
So the builder of that mountain had to the volcano had to rebuild it so that the monorail and train could go through it this year. So that was his big, and it was an
Adjustment.
enormous effort, I think, to get that to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and apparently
Yeah.
there's a 1 stud threshold for it to clear too.
Oh, Adam and us don't know anything about that.
Yeah, great points to
I
Adam.
love
Thank you.
the text on the left that says "Go by monorail."
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did, had that too, because with ours, I think the monorail track was split up between, I don't know, like 5 different people, because Adam did the back half, and then Kara, us, PT, and Leonard had like single pieces that went through all of our different ones. So,
And thanks, Adam, for raising the height of the tunnel.
right, because we built the monorail train, but Adam built the tunnel, and so there was a lot of trading of photos back and forth. And like, how many studs is it going to go around the corner? But it did.
Yeah. I'm really amazed that we were only 1 stud off with the connection point, and that was a pretty easy fix, really.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
This is a beautiful piece.
Now this was Isaac, what's her name? No, wait, who did I talk to that this was their first build? Somebody I talked to.
Oh, that's rude.
I know. Oh, I can't recall now because I asked her if she'd built anything, and then she mentioned.
AFOL, what's her bucket?
Oh, you know what? This might be.
Is this Isaac's partner, Ibby?
I thought it was.
Sorry, Holly. I meant it's rude that this is their first build.
I know, right?
It's rude that I can't remember names to save my life. It's so bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Leonard,
Holly, you
this is
couldn't remember
Vanessa.
who made it. That's
What's her
so
name?
rude.
This
Thank
is
you.
this is by Vanessa, says Leonard.
Vanessa?
I don't
Okay.
know who Vanessa is, but I love her work.
Thanks, Leonard.
Apparently, I talked to her.
Well,
Shank.
Mark.
No, our friend, you got it.
I know.
Moto.
Can you guess who made this one?
Absolutely. Crookshank. Crookshank.
Yeah, that's Mark's.
And he was like, "Yeah, I gotta make something better next time."
Well, he showed me because I had some questions about how he built it, and I actually got to watch him take it apart. Like it comes apart in 3 big sections, but it is entirely hollow on the inside. Like that's all facade, and it was really fascinating to watch him take it apart and then get to look down into the middle of it. And yeah, it was really cool.
And he used those battery-powered fairy lights that maybe people use 1 or 2 strands of, but he had like 16 strands of it with all the battery packs accessible in little.
Yeah, he like
ports
opened a
that
door
you
and
could
pulled
open.
out like this giant tangle of wires with like 25 different controllers on the end.
Yeah, he was bummed that one of the strands went kaput and he didn't have it fully lighted.
Yeah.
The light.
It still looked really nice.
I've been appreciating these online. These
Okay,
Yes.
so Moto, this was the other one that I wanted to take a picture of for you, because the minute I saw it, I told Rich, I was like, "Oh, that's like a Moto ship." 100%.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for, friendly space. I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for it, and they did it really well. Whomever were the builders for these ones.
You could probably zoom in on the
Yeah,
card.
there's a get.
It's strange because I haven't seen very many friendly spaceship builders.
Eric
Oh,
Lynn.
these are
I
both
don't
by
know
the
who that
same
is.
person.
Eric?
It's Eric
Eric?
Landrino did these.
I don't
both.
even know who that is. That's good. Great
Me
job.
neither.
Great builder.
Yeah, he's. I mean,
Oh, he's even putting metallic. I love it even more. There's metallic components on there too.
Really cool.
Cool shapes. Great shaping. I love the angles on it. It's just,
Whoops.
you know, it's not as straightforward as you think. There's more complexity than you'd originally think from the clean lines going on in these. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. So from the highly complicated to the very simple, like this is another great version of like something
feel
doesn't
like
have to be 5 million pieces to be
This is
effective.
the essence of Lego. To put a couple things together and make something happen, and it's just lovely.
I was going to say, this is like a $250 plate in downtown Denver.
There you go.
All it needs is a little bit of foam and a little bit of swirled sauce on the bottom. And yeah,
Oh,
Right?
that'd be a cool
this is
mod.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sam and Cat, you did some similar mushrooms on your piece as well,
Mhm.
coming out of
Yeah.
the side of the
Whoa.
tree.
Josh,
This
build
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh.
we
got-
fell in love with his work and then got to meet him. He's in the chat, or at least he was. And
Troll
besides
pod
being-
for the win. Good
besides
job.
being
Wait,
nice,
what's the username in the chat?
that's Josh.
Brick
Brick
built.
built Josh. Yep.
Josh.
It's so good. It's so good.
Thank you for making an engine reactor out of the Trolls pod. I've wanted to do that for a long time.
Wait,
They
is
built
that
it off, so I don't
Liz?
have to.
Yeah,
No,
it
she's
is.
Liz like.
Liz like. It's a Liz head.
But he
So-
also did that winter scene with
Slick.
reverse
That's
perspective.
coming.
And
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we've got that coming too.
Gotta
So I
keep
want.
looking at he did a really good job with the lights too, because this one and the other one looked really nice lit up.
You mean like?
I'll let you guys know I have to leave in
Martin.
17 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's not the same builder. That's
No, I had
Martin.
it. I had it set up, but this is different. So this is Martin, and he does amazing builds, and this is him with his build. And look at that.
He did lots of custom
So
lighting
cool.
and
Aw.
used blacklight LED tape on the undersides of all of the tentacles that were. He held them to the tentacle with Lego rubber bands.
Did
Yeah.
anyone get a photo of this with the lights out with the tentacles lit?
This is
Maybe.
wiring all
there
over
is
it.
one online that I saw, but I
Okay,
can't.
because I kept coming back trying to see everything lit up, and I don't know if I ever got a photo of it because I don't think everything was on at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is PT's micro buildings. I love these micro buildings. They're so
Hey, there's
good.
Josh. Hey, Josh, we like your work.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Josh, we have some other pictures of your work here too. So,
Yeah, Josh is in trouble with me.
uh-oh. Maybe you need to keep that offline, Adam.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, no. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, I do actually have to jet though.
Okay, Adam. Well, thanks for coming. And I also, well, before you go, I wanted to ask
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Did the collab meet your artistic vision of when you first thought of this last year? What was your reaction a year later, seeing it all come together, especially when other people were kind of interpreting what you had put out there?
Yeah.
Seeing it all come together, I thought it looked amazing. Everybody, like you said earlier, they brought their A game for this one, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, I think, on everybody's part, but it really came together at the end there. I'm really excited to see what Chicago brings for TrickyLUG with that collab. But yeah, I think the friend zone turned out awesome. I'm really proud of our group.
Very good. Me too. I think everybody did a fantastic job.
Everyone's already talking about ideas for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done.
And Adam too, I want to say, as a theme coordinator,
I-
you had a lot going on.
Ideas for next year.
Do I need to
Yeah.
do I need to tap the meme again?
Oh, for sure.
Adam, I've seen Bricks Cascade recap videos where they're sort of touring the place, and in all three of these videos we saw, you were sitting there working on that list in Castle in your outfit, so that they all were taking a video at the same time.
That's hilarious. And he's
Oh no.
he was simultaneously putting the red yarn, connecting things together on his giant map.
Yeah. I will say before I go is that Beyond the Brick, they actually did do on Sunday morning before we opened. They actually filmed the TrickyLUG collab and did a little thing on it. I don't know when they're. I mean, I don't know when they're going to post it because they post whenever. But they
I
did do
thought
a
they
little segment just
posted
on
it
ours.
Oh, that's
I thought they
awesome.
so they did post it. I thought it was under their Facebook account. If you want to look it up, you can just.
Oh, under Facebook. Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah,
Great.
There's social media recaps of builds where Josh is just doing the talking are really nice and really showcase the build in a quick
Yep.
way. Get a lot more engagement in their YouTube videos for those of us being featured.
Yeah.
Oh, they posted on TikTok too. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know.
Oh.
The ticks and the talks.
All
Okay.
right.
Great.
Well,
Okay,
thanks
sorry,
for coming,
guys.
Adam. All
Thanks
right.
for having me on.
Later.
Good to see everyone again.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
Bye.
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 Okay. So
Ooh, interesting. The whole video thing went clippy with the Harmons again for me. Whole reshuffle. Oh, now they're back. Okay.
no, these clouds remind me, the clouds and plate mosaic behind it remind me of some of the details we did in our Lego house build.
Yes, very much. It's so beautiful,
This is
really well
Josh
done.
Also.
The what?
This is also Josh.
Yes,
Yep.
this is also Josh, and this one I actually do have a picture of it with the lights off.
Yeah, I got one with the
But
light.
nice.
Nice.
But I want
Holly,
to get a
did you
little.
know that he's a graphic designer? This
Not
will
surprised.
not-
Not surprised. Yeah. Very
Look at that.
graphic. I wondered
Yes.
what the lights were, what lights he used to do the kind of under light on the background.
Look at that.
He has a little gap back there, and he can put the light in there.
I see.
Lovely
Are
little
they just
Mario.
like
cloud.
are they just LEDs?
I think so. Hopefully,
Maybe
he'll
it'll pop
chime in on the chat.
Oop. Sorry, it doesn't let me switch it if I'm not all
Zoomed out.
zoomed out. There it is with the lights off.
Yeah.
That looks better. I like it with the lights up better.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like
Oh,
it's
beautiful
once the
lighting.
lights go out, it's not even Lego anymore. Yeah, continuous
Yeah,
LED.
he says it's a continuous LED strip from Amazon.
Oh, we were laughing because I heard this from several people about various models. They're like, wow, it looks better with the lights off. I mean, I know that's not a great thing to say, but it really does look better with the
Well,
lights off.
it just abstracts from Lego even more.
Right.
That's why it always looks better, because it's just, I don't know, it's like not the whole thing is evenly lit, and so you get to kind of highlight different parts, and I don't know, it just makes it more interesting.
Well, it adds mystery and emotion to it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
really beautiful. Nice work, Josh.
Really cool.
Oh,
Steampunk.
this
Yeah.
is just,
Jesse
All
Gross.
those
That's
windows
Jesse's as well. I saw his other build.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is just, oh,
all those
so
windows are
good.
that sort of pearlescent glass.
Diachromatic,
Mhm.
whatever. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
That's cool.
He takes everything apart within 2 weeks of the event.
We love that about him.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar to people.
And everyone in the chat, Sam and Kat, are planning on taking that piece apart. to
Wednesday
make
night,
other pieces.
counting the minutes.
No, I thought you were gonna take it to BrickCon.
Nope. I
Oh.
want to build between now and then. I won't if I keep it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need
Very
parts.
good. Hey, that's
So,
we
I admire
very
that.
much like assigned. I mean, I remember when we did Snake Queen, we had people were horrified that we were like, yeah, we're gonna take it down, like whatever.
We need the bricks.
Really. Yeah,
I mean, it was well documented, both of them, so I get it.
Right, but
Is there
like people were really shocked, and I don't know. I mean, I know you were saying for you there was like this element of like I need the bricks back, which was the same thing for us. But also there was like for now we had ours together for a couple years, and at a certain point I was like, unless it's gonna start paying rent,
Yeah.
like for the space it's taken up, like I'm tired of having it lurking over my shoulder every time I eat dinner. Like it was a
Mhm.
whole thing. So yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, Josh, we did. I'll have to show you some pictures.
Sneak peek of my next project.
What?
Cool. More acorns.
Really cute. Oh my god.
Whoa,
No.
amazing. Fantastic. Oh, look, it's got the little pouch in the back.
What?
Sam says I can use all of the green 1x2 rounds to make a cape. So we'll see how that goes.
So this piece was done by, now they call themselves the Father Figs, and I know that I know one of the guys, and he's another one who puts all the effort in. Like he put this on, and then he showed up to the convention with like a full bowler hat on, with like a bow tie and like a watch chain with
Epic
a vest
beard.
and epic. Yeah, he's got like this massively epic beard, and yeah, he's just a really nice guy.
Yeah, there's like motion and stuff in this. It's really cool.
The entire roof part behind the Zeppelin opens up.
Yeah, now we showed this last year when we because it was so amazing, but they've added on to it. So I've seen that seems to be quite a popular thing lately that I've seen. I just noticed lately is people kind of like working on a very long-term project and sort of bringing it in phases, which is something that I would like. I don't think I could personally do, because it has to be finished for me. But I love that people do that, and it's great to see it get added on to. So let's see. That might be everything. Is it everything? It is. Ta-da! That's all of our slides.
Was there a steampunk theme, or you just happened that you had two steampunk?
No, there is a steampunk theme.
There was, and they were kind of the kings of the steampunk theme.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like is a good segue into talking about kind of the themes, but I'm starting to feel like I personally don't really like themes anymore, because it's getting harder to track the trends, with Lego sort of having transcended all different types of demographics and interests and things like that. I think the themes feel a little outdated to me, because it used to be very much castle and space and town and country, and like and then Star Wars kind of became really popular, so they said, okay, now we need a Star Wars theme. And then superheroes were really popular, so then they made a superheroes theme. And then what I see that is starting to happen now, after having been to a few different conventions, is you end up with this kind of imbalance, right? Of, pop culture is always like splitting at the seams, because it's so full, and it's really hard to sort of focus on any one thing because it's so busy and so full. Meanwhile, like now that Star Wars is maybe less popular, they're struggling to fill up those tables. And even Castle this year was surprisingly lacking. Like that's usually a really popular theme, but it's hard to predict.
Okay, Cat and Sam made up for the whole theme on their one thing.
So year over year, it seems like if it's hard to predict how popular a theme will be year to year, meanwhile you have more collaborations becoming more of a thing, right? So like Jurassic Park was its own thing. You've got the Harbor, you've got Old West. You go to Chicago or Scareback, they don't do themes. Like they just have things organized either by lug or just kind of miscellaneous. And
by builders, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that better, because when you put a Star Wars mock next to a Bionicle that's next to like a Disney thing, I feel like I kind of scan everything. Like I don't just like look, like when I go to Star Wars, everything sort of looks the same to me, or I don't really focus on any one thing, because it's
all Star Wars.
Yeah, like one continuous diorama or something. But if I see Star Wars just kind of something cool, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just anything that's there's something cool about it or interesting mixed in, then I tend to be like, ooh, wow, okay, well that was discovery, as Flynn would like to say.
Which organization method makes you feel like you haven't missed anything after the convention?
I always feel like I miss things, but I think I miss it because of one thing or another. I miss it because of kind of the busyness, and I think either it's something that's sandwiched between things that all kind of look similar, or I miss it because there's like too much to look at. And I think if you mix things up, like if you don't just have themes, people will make more of an effort to make their thing kind of stand out. You know what I mean? Because like you look at Bionicles, and like all the Bionicles are just kind of like figure after figure after figure, and you don't really see much built out as far as like scenes or backdrops or anything kind of built around it to make it focus.
So I think
you're an Bionicle.
From my own experience, I think I agree with you, but I've heard talk to countless people who who said, "Oh, the Bionicle theme is so nice because it gives context to that work, and I can understand it in a way that I couldn't otherwise." I heard that from a lot of people about a lot of themes.
I worry about like micro builds getting lost in a table of bigger builds. Like I think there's something so nice about seeing those.
I think that's true, but I think that's also why collabs are so cool. Like the micro collabs, when you put all those Micropolis builds together, kind of stand out more than just like each little individual micro. And I'm not saying get away with themes altogether. I think you can still kind of organize stuff like in sections, but I just don't like having the big banners because like if you have no interest in Bionicle, people tend to not even like go over there and look at anything. It's like,
well, you might miss out on something that's really cool, right?
Yeah,
like that you wouldn't have expected.
They kind of beeline for like Star Wars if that's what they're interested in, and they may tend to just bypass entire themes that they think that they're not interested in and miss all the really cool builds, like despite what the subject is.
Well, good luck splitting up GBC though. That would be rough.
Well, no, obviously GBC.
Well, I think a couple things about that. I was definitely more of a themes person than not, but I am kind of starting to lean in another direction. Only like I was, you were saying before, I was talking about, and I'm sure Kat will appreciate this, I was talking about discoverability of models and how, yes, like if I go to Castle and I'm looking at 85 different castles, they're going to just start on like, okay, a bunch of castles. Mm-hmm. But if I say, oh, here is Cat and Sam's table with all of their different types of builds on them, and like I can appreciate different things in one area. But then also too, I think that the themes are indicative of like a trophy giving, like element. So where like Chicago only gives a couple of trophies. They give a lights out trophy. They give best in show.
Oh, they give a ton of trophies.
No, they have like 20 categories.
Do they? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they do.
BBC, Technic.
I'm thinking about Scareback. Sorry. Yes.
Well, no. Scareback probably has none.
They don't do trophies.
They don't do trophies at Scareback. No, actually, that's right, because I was remembering when we were in Chicago and they were talking about we have these themes. I was like, for a theme coordinator or like somebody who's in charge of voting for castles, what a nightmare.
They have teams of people too. They have teams of people that work on that stuff. So when they give them, I
like to say when I was a judge of Chicago, that was the rough part. Is it if you are a judge of Chicago, you are setting aside 6 hours of your day, where you will not talk to anyone, and you have to go through the hall 2 or 3 times, and it takes at least an hour and a half to make it through the hall once.
Yeah, there's ways
to do it. So
it
is rough on the judging, but
here's the other nice thing about the way that that's done, though, is like when they give a trophy for best architecture, it's not necessarily because sometimes there's cross themes, right? Like you might have a really badass building that's like in pop culture and not technically in architecture. So I think you can still get an award if you're not, if you're not technically in that theme, you can still get an award for being like, best of whatever category.
This is my minifig for today. This is Mr. Meow.
Oh, I think this is a signal, everyone.
No, I have to go now.
No, we really should wrap it up. We've been here longer
here's
than
Mr.
we've been
Meow.
in a long time.
He now has braces and he wears adult-sized men's sneakers. So
wow,
there you go.
Wow, that's intense.
And
I'll let you guys discuss if you're going to buy D&D stuff starting tomorrow for New Release Day. But take it easy.
Stop. All right.
Bye.
Bye, Moto.
Take it easy.
But hey, let's see what other minifigs people have.
Okay.
Laura. I mean, oh my God, Holly.
That's okay.
I always get them confused.
It's habit, right? It's habit. Usually Kara goes, we have an order.
Sorry, yes.
Oh, Jake just came into the chat.
All right.
We know, Jake, you missed us gushing about you.
Yeah.
You're the best, Jake.
That's okay. He can watch back later. I'm sure we'll continue chatting convention next week, I'm sure. All right. So this was my little pickup at Citizen Brick. And I love it so much.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Has anyone built a big Zoltan? A life-size Zoltan box out of Lego?
No.
That would be
Come to mind every once in a while.
I don't know, but this might find its way into next year's collab. If
All right, Cat and Sam, what have you got for us?
I just pulled one of my little dudes off of the.
Her favorite of the acorn people.
So
That's
that
so
face is
cute.
from the boutique hotel from a girl who was actually very cute, but I thought with the short black hair, it looked really awesome.
She's so
And,
cute.
Very nice.
And I love this little dude. This is from the Monkey Kid Underwater Temple. I can't remember the exact name.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. I've never seen that.
And he's got a little tail in the back.
Lobster tail.
It's a
No.
beautiful set, beautiful minifigures. And we don't buy sets, but if I did collect sets, it'd be Monkey Kid because they're so cool.
That was the advent calendar find for Sam this year. That was me buying a couple of those for him.
That's so cool. Is it us now?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because there's only a few people.
So I got this. This is the one thing that I bought at the convention was this Blacktron figure. Oh, he's got a Logan hair on him.
He's
There we
Doesn't
go.
everything?
And I think this blaster is supposed to be black. I'll swap that out, but that's my Blacktron figure.
nice.
Mine's not a fig, but the talk about alligator tails and things got my old school dragon.
Cool.
We've got a couple of these. He doesn't have his wings on right now, but I love this piece so much.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Speaking of Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I had another figure ready. I'm actually surprised. I thought for sure someone else was going to have the same figure. So I
Okay.
put it aside. I thought for sure someone was going to bust
Oh.
this escape.
We're trying to
And
make it too obvious.
There's the bag. You can keep your phone in there, I understand.
I'm sure that guy does.
Well, I wanted to say once again, congratulations, Kat and Sam, for your big wins, many of them, lots of them.
Well deserved.
Yeah, and so excited that we got a chance to be, in a collaborative build with you. I hope that we get
It
to
was
do more of
fun.
that. It was really fun. It
yeah,
was
I
a
can
good time.
safely say it wouldn't have been the same show without you guys. So
For sure.
definitely
For
made a
sure.
difference.
And we definitely will be talking more about the convention next week because there's more to talk about. But I wanted to put this out there. I haven't announced this to anybody else on the show yet, but we just got these. So I'm proposing that we do an Animal Crossing build along next week. So if you want to do some build alongs with us next week with Animal Crossing, go out and get yourself an Animal Crossing set.
yes.
I think this is the cheapest one. This is I think $15, and it's Julian's birthday. And I'm sorry, if you Julian should be your favorite. I'm just saying, he's like a disco gay unicorn, and you need to love him. But anyway, if you do want to build along with us next week, we will be building some Animal Crossing sets and talking about and talking some more about the convention. Oops, sorry, everyone. And so once again, congratulations to not only to Kat and Sam, but to everybody in TrickyLUG who won trophies. It was a fantastic thing to see. Just so proud of everybody. It was incredible. So Kara wanted me to remind everybody that there is a TrickyLUG meeting next Saturday. And the build challenge theme is stained glass windows.
Oh.
So that should be a fun.
Do we get like a master class from Kat over there?
Maybe we'll sneak one of the windows.
Very good.
And I can tell you for sure we'll be starting to talk about preliminary ideas for the next collab. And some people have already taken their ideas and started developing them.
Yeah.
A lot.
There's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of discussion. We should all compare notes from
Yep.
last weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There'll be a lot to talk about.
Thank you for having us on the chat. And thank you, everyone in the audience, for staying with us for 2 hours.
I know.
That was an epic.
Well, you know what's crazy though? That used to be the regular length
I know.
of the shows
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Anywho, well, thanks everybody. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Thanks everybody so much for coming. It's been a great time. And we will be back next week building Animal Crossing sets, talking a little bit more about oh, excuse me. Talking a little bit more about Bricks Cascade. And until then, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, have a great rest of your weekend, build cool stuff, and we will see you next time. Bye everyone.
I love you all.
Woohoo! You didn't say it.
Happy building.